There's only one fishing knot that you ever truly need to be successful on the water. There's tons of different knots out there. They all work. They all have different applications. But if you're just getting started, or if you're just looking for one go-to one, or maybe two go-to ones, it'll probably show you another one. Just keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate things. When I first got started fishing, I fished some when I was a kid. My dad showed me how to tie knots, but he did it the way everyone else did at the time, which is a lot more complicated. And as a kid, I just didn't quite understand. So when I was older, when I started fishing in my late 20s, I was literally tying an overhand knot, like how you tie your shoes. And that's what I was using for knots. So thank God I didn't catch anything big, because it would have popped the line for sure. Until finally I saw someone do this super simple knot, and I've been using it ever since. So this is called the improved clinch knot, or fisherman's knot. And it used to be used in a little more complex way. So I'm gonna flip the camera around. I'm gonna show you how this is done. All right, so we've just got our monofilament line here. Okay, I've got a number 2 hook. There's the eye of the hook. Doesn't matter what size hook it is. So I'm just gonna run that line right through the eye of the hook. Give myself a few inches to play with there. Okay, just like that. I'm gonna hold this line up against the main line. Okay, just like that. Okay, now I'm going to rotate this hook all the way around once, all the way around twice, all the way around a 3rd time, a 4th time, and a 5th time. Okay, simple. So we've kind of created that hole right there next to the eye. So we're going to take the end of the line. Oh boy, my fingers need to get a little better at this. Take the end of the line and run it through that hole, just like that. Pull that on through. Now if you notice, we've now created another hole back here, this big hole. Take the line that you just ran through there and run it back through this hole. Just like that. And you'll see the knot tighten. Then all you have to do is pull it tight. That's it. That's all there is to it. So let's take a look at this knot. There it is. That knot is not going anywhere. So all you're going to do is clip off the tag end right here, and you're done. That is the entire thing. That is the improved clinch knot, or fisherman's knot. All right, so if you're looking for another knot for a setup like this Carolina rig, okay? We've got our sinker. I've just got a little bead there to protect the knot. I've got a barrel swivel and the leader down to a hook. So for this, we just talked about the improved clinch knot, or fisherman's knot. That's what we got going on right here. See if it'll focus for me. Maybe not, but you get the idea. That's what I tied right there. Okay? So I'm going to cut this part off right here and do something called the easy Snell. There are Snell hooks that are a little more complicated. For this, let's keep it simple. So I'm going to go ahead and undo this to show you. Snelling really works well with circle hooks. It just seems to set the hook a little bit better than if you don't snell. Okay, so I've just got my 20-pound line here. And you're gonna come off, I don't know, whatever you want, 12 inches, 18 inches, 24 inches, whatever you want. Okay, so I've got this right here. So here's the key that some people screw up on the easy Snell. You wanna kind of create a little bit of a knot here to keep it from slipping. So literally just rotate it around to make a loop, okay? Then just put it back through there. So loop, put it back through there, okay? And it creates that right there, well knot. Cut off the tag end. I'm gonna cut off the tag end. So it looks like this on the end of your line, like that. Man, it will not focus for me. There you go. Okay, so now you're going to take your circle hook. Okay. Take this in, you created your little knot, put it through the eye. And what you're going to do is just lay it there. You're going to lay it on top. Let you get a good look at that. Focus for me. We're just laying it on top. just like that. Why will this thing not focus? And then you're just going to wrap it around about 8 times. You can do it 5 times, 6 times, 8, 10, 12, really doesn't matter. You're just going to wrap it around, wrap it around, wrap it around. Keep going 4, 5. So you're just going as many times as you can until you hit that knot that you just created. Okay, 7 is what we got there. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Focus for me, come on. You can kind of see what's going on there. Not sure why this thing will not focus. Well, anyway, you get the idea. We've wrapped it around about 7 times. Okay. Now you're going to take the end of the line. You're going to go back through that eye the opposite way you went in, not the same way. So we went in this way, therefore we're going to come back that way. Okay? We're going to come back through. It's going to blow your mind. Okay? You go through, you tighten it, you're done. This is also known as the knotless knot. You're like, how in the world does that work? Because you really didn't even make a knot. You're right. I did not make a knot. That's what's so strange about this. But I'm going to show you, okay? I'm going to attach this to my leader line. I'm going to cut off the end here. It's a little long. So I'm going to put it in, and I'm going to show you the improved clinch knot or fisherman's knot again, okay? So we ran it through the eye, right? Got our line here. We'll rotate it once. Give myself a little more room here. There, a little extra line, okay? Rotate it once, twice. These are 4 rotations. 3, 4, and 5, okay? Just like that. Grab the end of your line over here. Through the hole that you created. Pull it through, okay? Now you've created this other hole. That is not a good look at it. Created that hole right there. You're going to run your line back through that hole that you created. Okay, you do that and you pull it tight. And sometimes it gets a bit of a mess on the end. You just kind of take your thumb and push it down, push it down. There you go. We're going to cut off the tag end. Okay, so how does this knotless knot or easy Snell knot work like this, okay? You've created this. You can't really undo it. Even though you don't have a knot, you can't really undo it. So what's going to happen is a fish is going to get hooked up on the end of this, like so. Okay, it gets hooked up, and then it pulls. So when it pulls, all it does is tighten this, and tighten this, and tighten this. So you might be asking, if this completely loosened, it would just unravel. Okay, sure, but how is it going to completely loosen? If it's just sitting there, it's not unloosening. I'd have to manually go through and undo it all, which I'm not going to do, right? But if the fish is pulling on it, pull, 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 it's just tightening it the whole time, and it cannot come undone. So even though you didn't actually create a knot, there is no way possible for this to come undone, which is the beauty of it. So that's the knotless knot or easy Snell. So I think if you use those 2 knots, if you use a circle hook, use the Snell hook. For everything else, use the fisherman's knot or the improved clinch knot is what it's called, either one. Yes, people will say, use the polymer knot because in testing, it got the highest ratings for strength and all that. True, but it's more complicated to tie, and it's not giving you that much more bang for your buck. And with something cheap, easy, something you're not going cheap. Yeah, it's cheap. If you want something that's easy and you're not going to mess up, that's the key. So you're tying these fancy knots, yeah, they technically are slightly stronger, but if you mess it up, what's the point? Do something you're not going to mess up. Do something that's cheap, simple, you can repeat time and time again without messing it up. And that's how you're going to have success in the water, and that is how you're not going to lose the big fish, okay? There's nothing more frustrating to finally get that big fish, and then your knot fails because you didn't tie it right. Use something simple that you can do, which I believe the improved clinch knot is the easiest one to do every single time that is still super strong. So if you stick with that, I don't think you can go wrong. So anyway, thank you so much for watching the video, and God bless.